Everyone here remembers a time in their lives where everything just felt easy and carefree. A time when we could get lost in our own little world and create our own reality. Maybe you're running around pretending to be a superhero or even a princess. Back then, it just felt like we had no doubts or self-consciousness, only complete belief. Now, envision your big grown self doing the same things. Playing swords, doing flips, dressing up as Disney princesses. It suddenly feels stupid, right? But what if I told you that this ability to play could be the missing link in how we deal with stress, creativity, and even our mental health? I've worked with teaching children since I myself was very young. I remember accompanying my mother as she visited different schools in the Philippines. Watching the children learn, play, and move throughout their day with a certain lightness, it really stirred something within me. Looking back at it now, it was as if they carried a kind of radiance, one that made the world feel a little bit more warm and a little bit more alive. As I became more involved in teaching, especially in our religious community, I began to understand it more. It was the innate ability of children to find joy and wonder in even the simplest of moments. This sparked my interest in investigating imaginative play, and if that childlike wonder was still possible to be recreated in our dull, boring, miserable high school lives. As we grow older, we're told to grow up. We exchange fairy wands for pens, boogeyman stories for, well, TED Talks, and while accountability is crucial, for most of us, we end up losing one important thing, our ability to play. But hold on, what even is imaginative play? Well, it turns out, according to Dina Winsberg, a professor studying imaginative cognition and scientific thinking, imaginative play is notoriously difficult to define. At its core, play is just anything we do for the sole sake of enjoyment. But there are many different types of play. There's physical play, constructive play, and a billion other types of play. So what separates imaginative play? The answer? Immersion. Being able to step into a particular character or scenario and truly believing in it. It unlocks abstract thinking, creativity, problem solving, and the ability to understand symbolism. When we truly immerse ourselves in a role, we transcend the boundaries of reality, creating mental images that allow our imagination to construct new possibilities and perspectives. The most common way we see this is through substitution, like how a child uses a banana as a phone. There's also imaginary objects, like how children use make-believe swords when they play fight. And lastly, there's imaginary companions. Now, I didn't have any imaginary friends when I grew up, because I had imaginary sisters. I remember accompanying, whenever my mom would take me to the salon with her, I would lock myself in the bathroom, look at myself in the mirror, and talk to my twin sister. Children's brains are so interesting, aren't they? But believe it or not, the simple act of talking to yourself in the mirror is a crucial part in one's transition from childhood to adulthood. John Piaget, a psychologist who shaped this field of developmental psychology, stated that imaginary play isn't just a phase, it's how children make sense of their world. Through assimilation, children are able to take the new experience they encounter and blend it to match their understanding. Through assimilation, children are able to take the new experience they encounter and blend it to match their understanding. Psychologist Fink Roberts, who also wanted to investigate the role of imaginative play on children's cognition. So he separated. Psychologist Fink Roberts also wanted to understand the role of imaginative play on children's cognition. So he divided 36 children into one of three groups. The first group practiced imaginative play. The second practiced free play, without structure. And the third was just a control group. Now here's what's interesting. The children who practiced imaginative play demonstrated better problem-solving skills, stronger communication, and more social awareness. The simple act of practicing imaginative play allowed children to develop skills that even some of us here still struggle to fully grasp. But what happens when we grow up? When we reach an age where we just stop playing? See, this is where one big misconception comes into light. Because we never really stop playing. It just changes form. The most important distinction between imaginative play during childhood and when we grow up is the introduction to rules. But this is not at all restrictive. It merely provides a structured space in which creativity can flourish. I mean, think about it. Board games, tabletop games, dress parties, all structured, but still playful. Another unique distinction is that it thrives in shared experiences, something researchers call pretensive shared reality, a mutual understanding of make-believe scenarios. Can you believe that dressing up as your favorite movie character could facilitate empathy, cooperation, and identity exploration? But it doesn't stop there. Aside from social benefits, imaginative play fuels creativity. In fact, research on highly creative professionals, artists, inventors, and even Nobel Prize-winning scientists states that they all have one thing in common. They never stop playing. Einstein himself once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. It's an important part of how we progress as a society." I mean, yes, to be able to innovate, you need knowledge. But equally as important is the ability to progress beyond current theoretical frames and approaches to problem solving, to envision a new reality, and most importantly, to have fun in the process. Although being creative, being playful is more widely accepted today than in any other generation that preceded us, there are still many who end up suppressing their creative nature. In the words of Joseph Beuys, everyone is an artist. But most of us here probably experienced something painful that opened our eyes to the limitations of life. Whether it's societal structures, psychological defenses, or even death. Most of us had an experience that made us realize life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. For me, it was the death of the person I wanted to be. This picture here captures one of my earliest memories of me singing with my little pink guitar. Every word coming out of my mouth was pure gibberish, but I loved every second of it. From then on, I saw something within myself, that I was going to be someone big. I was going to be someone special. After that, I'd perform in birthdays, parties, and every special occasion you can ever think of. And after every performance, after every applause, I would dream even bigger, and my mind would just be filled of a million possibilities of the person I could be in the future. But I let those dreams slip away. I stopped imagining, and without realizing it, I stopped singing. For a while, I drifted. I didn't know who I wanted to be. But in 2022, my parents made the difficult decision of sending their 3 daughters to different schools to pursue their education, putting away all their worry, their doubts, their comfort, all so that we could have a chance to make anything we envisioned into reality. Their sacrifice was a reminder that no matter what, there will always be people who will stand by me. All I had to do was dream, take the first step. For me, losing my sense of play meant losing a part of myself. But I found my way back. And so can you. So don't stop dreaming, don't stop imagining. And most of all, don't stop playing. Because play isn't just for children. It's how we stay creative, curious, and most importantly, alive. And as for me, although my passions have changed, I will never let myself stop playing again.